Jordan, let people know where to find you on social media and your website and everything too before we do the quick questions here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Instagram is my main thing, probably because I'm old. Don't really care about Facebook, so I'm not that old. But it's putter.shop on Instagram. Otherwise, it's the-putter-shop.com because theputtershop.com they wanted like 12 grand for. And I was like, no, you're insane.
Yeah.
12 grand for a domain is crazy.
I was like, who bought this? Who's holding on to this? I mean, I probably could have offered them $100 and they would have taken it, but I decided, nah.
I realize the domain thing is kind of crazy. So
that's a racket.
Long story short, I was on The Voice like 6-7 years ago now, but that worked out well. Here I am talking golf about a sport I barely play.
That's right.
That's huge. I remember when they needed to do, because they wanted to make it as easy as possible for people to find you. So my Twitter handle, they wanted @Gary Carpentier, but somebody had that over in England. I don't know what they paid the guy. I have no idea, but he gave it up. But NBC bought me my Twitter handle. So because, I thought it was hilarious.
You can't ever get rid of your Twitter /X handle.
Yeah, I just don't use X anymore. So I just don't give a shit.
It's over. Thanks for buying this. NBC.
Yeah, but that domain stuff, I've seen some things where they're like, you give me $30,000, I'll give you it right now. Like,
yeah. There's those. Yeah, it's crazy. There's those hawks that'll watch when a domain, times out, whatever it is, and they like jump on it. Like I feel like it was Pepsi or somebody some years ago lost their domain because they let the contract time out, and then they had to buy it from somebody for some insane amount.
I think when Washington football team, before they got the name, I think there was a guy that got like two of them, like two of the possible. He got them, and then cashed in.
That's so.
Could you imagine just sitting on your couch and all of a sudden you just do this, and the next thing you know, the Washington football team is contacting you. Like Commanders are like, can we get that?
Yeah, and you're like,
what's it mean to you?
You can.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, man, that's putter.shop on Instagram. The-putter-shop.com is our actual website. Yeah.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Before we go to the rapid fire,
go ahead.
can you what's your putter currently then? Like what it is, and then I'm curious too, like what grip you have on the club, but then what grip you putt with, because we've talked a bit about different putting grips as well too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I was talking about the claw grip earlier with this kid that came to my office that we talked golf stuff. My gamer right now is a Weston Mon Forestdale. So I've had his Highlander model, and I have it still, but now the Forestdale, and really, it's a traditional answer style or a Newport, not something else. It's a traditional higher bumpers, so that's blade putter. Weston Mon, shout out, love the guy. The dude is full of knowledge. If you want to talk golf, club creation and stuff, particularly putters, then he's the guy. But he makes an incredible product.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it. I love them because I don't want my wife to know. But I treat them like an investment,
Because that's what they are. They're investments.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gun. I know we were not talking about guns, but like you shouldn't buy a cheap gun because you kind of want to rely on it, right? Yeah. It's the same thing with a putter. So
I thought the same thing when I bought my clubs. Like it's a sport that like I'm, we've talked about it before plenty of times, but it's like I've only been playing like 5, 6, 7 years, like consistently now. I finally bought a full set of clubs, and I'm gonna treat them. I'm gonna clean them every single time. I'm gonna make sure that they last as long as they possibly can, because I'm not dishing out another $1,500 for a full set.
Yeah, right. It makes you better. It really does. Yeah. I mean, I know that's a whole marketing thing, but there is something to be said about having good tools.
Yeah,
you don't have to have the best tools. We don't all need Ferraris, but it's like you need something that's going to serve you well. And
my 87 Honda clubs were fine. 87 Hondas were great.
Hey, still running. That's right. That Honda will run forever. So yeah, that's my main thing. When we talk about, I'll talk about both grips, both meanings of grips. So it has a Lambkin EBL on it, which is a pistol style grip, very traditional. I like a really tacky grip. I like something that I feel like, because one, I'm going to sweat a lot. Like I've always played in the deep South, so it's hot down here. You get really sweaty. Plus, I'm a big guy, so I'm extra sweaty. I've done the whole super stroke. I've gone that route. I've had other Lambkins and golf prides and all these kinds of things. Somebody's upset.
Oh, can you hear that? Oh man.
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah. I mean, we're getting close to bedtime.
Yeah. Love kids, man. Love families. Very pro family. So I need something that I feel like I can hold on to. And I've gone through all the other ones. I at one point had a Super Stroke Fatso 5.0, which is the biggest one you can get. Like, horrible. Just no idea why I did that. You couldn't even get it in the sandbag with other clubs. It had to have its own slot.
Oh, yeah, because they're like this big around, right?
Thing was gigantic. And I had that on my old Answer. It was when Super Stroke came out, and everybody was like, "It'll quiet your grip, like it'll make you very stable." And I was like, "Oh, that's what I need," So I had that thing on there for years. Terrible idea. But anyways, grip style. I am a traditional grip style. So there's some slight overlap with me. I've never been reverse. I've never been a claw guy. All the other things. If labs look ridiculous to me, broomsticks look even worse. They have their place. They all have their place. I say it in jest. I had somebody reach out to me. Great. I'm sure he's great. Like probably destroy me on the course. But I had this guy, I think he was a college golfer, reach out and be like, "Hey, do you take trades?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Tell me what you've got and let's see, what we can get you into." And he told me it was this insane broomstick spider. And I know Odyssey owns broomstick, but I don't care. I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I'm not taking that. Like, I can't, there's nothing, I will never sell this." I'd have to actually put broom bristles on it to use it. It would be more useful then. So it's stuff like that I kind of make fun of. But, I'm sure Bernhard Longer can outputt me left and right with his broomstick. And he cheats, by the way. You can see he holds that thing to its chest. So, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
That's so funny.
But I'm a traditional grip. So right back to it, I'm a traditional guy. You're going to find me looking like this.
Yeah.
My main thing to focus on, honestly, with putter grip is making sure, one of my favorite people to watch is Brad Faxon, and he's got a good YouTube. It's spotty because he's outside of the social media era, so he's not looking at it that way. But it's really palm to palm and where it sits so that you can actually make this stroke where you're actually pushing with what would be your dominant hand, if you're right-handed or left-handed. And the way he describes it just makes total sense to me. So for me, a lot of it is in that practice, as I talk a lot about practice, it's just creating that habit of repetition where it becomes second place, second nature when you just set up, that you're ready to actually make a proper grip. And I can tell when I don't go through my setup right, I'm off. Like I do an actual push, a little bit of hinge to start my putting stroke. And if for some reason I'm not thinking, like I don't do it instinctively, my stroke's off. It's gone. So so it's stuff like that I try to work into my routine to where it creates this comfort and this confidence level with putting.
Yeah. I think that's what makes putting so cool, though, is like having those little triggers mentally. And, it's just.
Right.
So
right.
cool.
We do the same thing. Any club you put in your hands, you should have that one swing thought, right? So it's like, we don't need 30 swing thoughts. We need one swing thought. And one of those with the putter stroke, that's why I always say stroke it. It's like a whole thing. I do my mantra. You got that one thought. So I will hinge, and that's my one thought.
Thanks for watching today's episode. To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.